Okay, can everyone hear me?
We can hear Marsh.
Okay, thanks, Rati. So, greetings from the Super Soul Farm. What accommodation I have here. I have the presenter's suite, so it's very nice, and Raghunath's very happy that I'm here. And yesterday, some nice people came over to help work. Such incredible nice people. Vegan trucker, big guy with a shaved head and a seeker and T-lock. Such a nice guy. Another guy named Lev that lives off the grid. He completely lives off the grid. So and Eva and her mother and Mara cook lunch. So today Rachel will come. So Krishna has provided nicely because I've been upstate for so many years, and I moved from Kali and Sachi, and then I was with Leela Vrindavan and Jamuna Bihari, and then they moved. But Krishna made an arrangement when I want to come up here, and it's a beautiful property. And at the beginning of June, they'll have a retreat here with Sachinandana Swami. So I'll come up and either, there's some place I could stay here, or I'll stay with Donna Kali, who's about 30 minutes away. So we're on a new chapter. It's chapter 9 of the Antya Leela, Antya-khaṇḍa of the Caitanya-bhāgavata by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. And thank you all. I put the participants, I see who comes. And to me, those are the people who are serious about Krishna consciousness, because it's all based on hearing. If we don't hear, we won't advance. If we don't hear, we won't become fixed. If we don't hear, we won't get a taste. So nice to see you there. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. My iPad, is that what it's called? Yeah, iPad, the thing where I have the Shastra on, it's running out of juice. Let me see if I get something to plug it in. Okay. Jaya Jaya Śrī Jaya Jaya Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya ramā-kānta. Jaya ramā-kānta. Jaya sarva-vaiṣṇavera vallabha ekānta. All glories to Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya, the husband of the goddess of fortune. All glories, the only beloved Lord of all Vaiṣṇavas. I was just thinking, as in separation from Vrindavan, I just love coming here Wednesday morning and reading the rasa. This is what it's all about. It's having those feelings of devotion. And that means an object of devotion and sentiments. And I can think of no better way than the Bhagavatam, the Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita, the Caitanya-bhāgavata, because it reminds us of what reality is. And I'll say it myself, reality is not the world I live. This is the real world, where these thoughts of devotion and the object of devotion in your mind, if not feeling it, the desire for it. Śrī Kṛṣṇa Bhakti Rasa Bhavato Mati, with the opinion, Śrī Kṛṣṇa Bhakti Rasa Bhavato, the opinion, the mind of the mood, Bhavato, Śrī Kṛṣṇa Bhakti Rasa, of this mood of love and relationship. So it's so great to read this Shastra. And even though it's sometimes a bit repetitive, the one thing that can be repetitive without boredom is love. Jnana can be boring. The path of jnana can be boring, because then when we study Shastra and understand that, that's also bhakti, but in our bhakti Shastras, but the path of jnana is austerity, and there's a goal of moksha. So the goal is what is pleasurable. And karma, the goal is some fruitive activity, not the sacrifice that one makes. But bhakti is sasukam kartam avyam. It's always joyfully performed. It's always joyfully performed. Vayam natu vatript atma uttama shloka vartate yashrinvatam rasa jnanam swadu swadu pade pade. Vayam natu vatript atma. We never become tired of this. Rasa jnanam swadu swadu. It's experiential. It's not just intellectual. So we never become tired. So, of course, at the beginning of every chapter, there are prayers, which is the most effective way to put oneself in a position to understand and feel Krishna. To understand and feel Krishna, we must be at the platform of humility. We cannot feel or understand Krishna from the platform of pride, from the platform of humility. Because to understand and see God is to experience God's mercy. And mercy, to feel mercy, takes a requirement of humility. And I give the simple example. I like analogies. I'll joke, especially the analogies that I make up, just like a spoiled child cannot feel love. He cannot understand the parent's love. The child cannot see the parent's love, cannot feel the parent's love. if they're not humble. So this is such a requirement. So prayers to Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya. Who is he? Ramā-kānta. Kanta means, hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagat Pate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta, the beloved of. So the lover of, the beloved of. So Rama is the goddess of fortune. So ramā-kānta, he is Vishnu, he is God. All glories to Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya. He is God. Put yourself in a mood of service and then you'll experience rasa. And we put ourselves in a mood of service by understanding he is God. Jaya sarva-vaiṣṇavera vallabha ekānta, the one beloved of all the Vaiṣṇavas, the one beloved. And the one beloved is inclusive of everything else because it's advayam gyan. It's consciousness which is inclusive of everything else. But that one beloved creates the mood of universal love. Jaya Jaya Kripa Moya Śrī Vaikunta Nata Jiva Pratikara Prabhu Shubha Drishti Bhata. All glories to the Kripa Moya. We had that program at Gopas and Jai Shri Radhe, and then Kripa Moya came. It was Jahnavi's father. And it was a treat for us. And I was invited to the wedding, but I wasn't able to go to the wedding of Kula Pradeep and Jahnavi, but they sent me a Zoom link and I saw the wedding. And it was superbly done by the father. What I appreciate about him is that it was an example of realization because he's a communicator. He understands as an ancient ritual, but he had the understanding of how it could be, how it can be communicated. It's a classic example of realization, why it takes realization. He had how it can be communicated to the audience and to the people getting married, the essence of it. And anybody who saw it was amazed. It was done so. It was done so superbly. So superbly. Realized what is the essence of this and how to communicate it. To create that samskara, to create the impression within the couple of the significance of this, and to create the affection in the audience to invoke their blessings. So this is Jaya. That's the name of Lord Chaitanya. It's the name of Krishna. And Jahnavi's father is Kripa Moya Das. To the Kripa Moya, Moya means to be full of or possessed of mercy. He's the and who is possessed of mercy? Śrī Vaikunta Nata, one who is the Lord of Vaikunta. But again, this concept of Nata is not the Lord and controller only. It's the Lord and carer, the Lord and protector. the Lord and sustainer, the Lord who is the shelter, the Lord who is the refuge. Jiva Prati, Kara Prabhu. On the living entities, please, Jiva Prati, be merciful. Shabha Drishta Pati, with your glance. O Lord, be merciful with your glance. Maya Yakshena Prakriti Suyate Sa Chara. And I think what chapter is, I think is in the 9th chapter. Maya Yakshena Prakriti. Krishna is Maya. He's Maya Suyata Sacharacha. One of the ways that Krishna is controlling is he's glancing, he's observing, he's seeing, he's omniscient. And Prabhupada in the purport said, his determination is an actual fact. His determination is an actual fact. Our determination is not an actual fact. And if it was, we'd be miserable. Because unless you're purified, you will choose the right things. You will choose the things that you're actually in your heart praying for now that are anartha, that are unwanted. And you'd be disconnected from the soul. Because if you want the right things, you'll have them immediately. If you throw your hands up right now and say, Krishna, I am yours, you have it. We only don't have it because we don't want it. If you're saying, oh, I wish my determination was an absolute fact, because then I'd be a pure devotee. No, it's not your determination. Otherwise, it would be an absolute fact. Because you'd throw your hands in the air and you'd will it right now. Hena mati bhakta gosh tishvareda shange takila paramananda sankirtirange. In this way, all the devotees remained with the Lord, enjoying the ecstasy of Sankirtan. So now begins the story. Because the story was the devotees are coming during the Chaturmasya, the non-COVID induced time for spiritual life. And they decide to go to Puri to be with Lord Chaitanya. I'm going to have to start organizing my Puri Yatra this week. And any of you around in August 17th or 16th or 17th, Jaya Jagannath, myself, and Lilo, hopefully we'll have a retreat in Colombia, Cali. And we'll do a beautiful Janmashtami festival there. It'll be great. A beautiful Janmashtami festival. Hari Hari Bo. Hari Hari Bo. So the devotees came and Lord Chaitanya greeted him, and a garland came from Lord Jagannath. He didn't think, I'm giving this garland. Lord Chaitanya is giving this garland. No, Lord Jagannath is giving this garland. Okay, I'm going to tell you a very interesting confidential story. I'm looking at the list. These are all my confidential friends, I can tell you this story. I was in Dallas, Texas, where I joined Krishna consciousness, and I came to those of you who have visited it. I know Sri Rupa is here. She stayed there for a while, but she would know because the restaurant is where the gift shop was, used to be an office for a school, and was our school office because it was a school. School offices, they have, it was just a glass window, and there was this letter from Prabhupada closing the school and moving the whole school to India. And at that particular time, that was like, I'm going to Vrindavan. That was Krishna saying, you're going to Vrindavan. It's like like tumbleweed, which you find in Texas. You just blow it and it moves. I was a little soul and it was blowing his move. So, okay, now I'm told that the whole school is going to Vrindavan, and I have to find out a way to go to Vrindavan. And what I can't understand is the price of the tickets is the same as it was, that was 40 years ago, 45 years ago, I went to Vrindavan. How can the price of the tickets still be the same? That was the price of the tickets. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe they're 1,200 now, they're 1,800. So I had to go to New York. And I went to New York and I had to collect money and I had to go out on the street, and I never did it before and I didn't know what I was doing. And even got arrested once because the devotees told me to have these books and just say free, free, free. And then when they grab the books, then I tell the people, I said 3, 3, 3. So one person grabbed the books and the Port Authority, I wouldn't let it go, and he kept on walking, and I wound up in a police station. So it was kind of very difficult for me making announcements on the subway, and I'm trying to collect money to go. And then I went into the temple and I was just praying in the temple. The curtains were closed. And I was just praying and praying in the temple because I was in so much anxiety. My eyes were closed, and then boom, plop. And the curtains are closed. I didn't see where it came from, but it was a garland for the deities. So I guess in some way, maybe I was humbly blessed to go to Vrindavan. But anyway, through the devotee, obviously through a devotee. So Lord Chaitanya brought the garland through Lord Jagannath. He brought the garland through Lord Jagannath. And they greeted the devotees, Lord Chaitanya personally. And then they were doing Sankirtan, they were doing chanting, and then they came into Puri, the Kirtan party. I don't know why this morning I'm just having so many remembrances. It just seems so sweet coming into Puri by Kirtan and then going in water sporting in Narendra Sarovara, and then going to see Lord Jagannath. And now the story is being, the devotees, the story is being continued in this way. All the devotees remain with the Lord, enjoying the Paramanande Sankirtan, the great joy of Sankirtan. Just like I see many on the list here, maybe at least 7 or 8, maybe more people on the list. They went to, on Sunday, where Janavi's wedding festival continued with the Harinam in the park with the all-stars, Gauravani and Ananta and Achyuta, and there was like 100 devotees sitting on the lawn in Washington Square Park. And the level of that kirtan. And I was watching people stopping, getting the Bhakti Lata Beach, which begins with an appreciation. it was like King Prataparudra standing on the rooftop and talking to Gopinath Bhattacharya and saying, I've never seen a kirtan like this. Because it's beyond the music. It's beyond the music. And there's no devotees there. So it's like, whoa, what's going on here? The level of that kirtan. The level of that kirtan. What's going on? Ye dravye prabhura prita purva shisha kale shakala janena tahi Vaiṣṇava mandale. All the Vaiṣṇavas knew what foodstuffs the Lord liked in his childhood, because it's the Vaiṣṇavas from Navadvip, so that's where Lord Caitanya is from. So they knew him growing up, and they knew what food he likes. And God likes particular foods. Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhakta prayachati. He likes particular foods because rasa-vaiṣṇavera, the world is love, and you have to please someone, and you please them by giving them what they like. Of course, in the material world and what's good for them, but what God likes is also what's good for him and everyone else. We may have some dichotomy, but still, if you like someone, you try to please them by giving them the best, but not according to only your judgment, but according to what that person's judgment is. Bhajabhakata vatsala sigohari, sigohari, so he goes to Bihari, Nanda yaso mata chittahari. And then it lists. Mother Yasoda is calling Lord Caitanya back with his friends, and they have a feast and they get in lines, and it lists all these preparations because they're meditating on all these preparations, including Gaura Priya. Gaura Priya Gaura Priya means what Lord Caitanya likes. And therefore, Gaura Priya it also means spinach. When my disciple, Billy Joe, got the name Gaura Priya, and she looked it up, she thought her name was the servant of spinach. So the Vaiṣṇavas knew. And this is the potency of service. When you serve someone, you have a key to their heart and their desires. And therefore you know how to please them. Say sabha dravya sabhe prema yukta hoy aniyache yata shabha prabhu lagya. Therefore they all lovingly brought those items for offering to the Lord. Say shabha dravya priti kariya randana ishvarere asya karena nimantrana. The devotees would affectionately cook those items and invite the Lord to accept their offering. Ye dina ye bhakta grihe hoya nimantrana tahai parama prite karena bhojana. Whenever the Lord was invited to the residence of a devotee, he would eat there with great affection. So in the loving exchanges, it's not, the love is not just giving. The love is also accepting. The love is giving, the loving is accepting. Accepting is also showing someone's love. When a child eats the food lovingly cooked from the mother, it's also an expression of love for the mother. So Lord Chaitanya would eat at people's houses. And again, I'm remembering the culture when I was in Mayapur. Every single day, I was invited to a different person's house for prasad. Wow. Sri Lakshmira Amsha Yata Vaiṣṇava Grihiniki Vichitta Randana Karena Nahi Jani. All the wives of the Vaiṣṇavas were expansions of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. Therefore, their cooking was so wonderful. I cannot describe it. And it's hard to describe. I remember, I see Joe Cayley is listening here, and he was, when Bhakta Henry Haridas was hosting Jamuna, and he's so kind, he invited me to stay for a few days. And Jamuna was having the 20th anniversary of her deities, Rana Bana Bihari, and it was a big festival, and Jamuna was doing what Jamuna does. And one morning she cooked oatmeal. I cannot describe it. It was simple oatmeal. I cannot describe it. Nor the feast that she cooked. And you got two plates, one of Indian, one of Spanish. And your name was there in calligraphy. Cannot describe it. When things are done with devotion, you can achieve things that are beyond your own capability because of the principle of Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tvam yenam. For one who works with me with faith and devotion, I give them the intelligence. That's called the path of grace. So you're able to perform beyond your capabilities. And I see that very frankly, this writing project I did, I'm stubborn. So when I latch onto something, that's it. And I've been doing it for over 6 years, producing an article every week. And I myself am amazed. I was writing something the other day. I'm also have some other writing projects. I'm writing an article for the Journal of Vaishnava Studies. They're doing the Satyaraj's academic journal. They're doing something on Krishna Lila. And I had some realizations on Brahma Vimohan Lila and its relationship to Prabhupada. Very interesting. And Satyaraj always wanted me to write on it. Now he's given me this opportunity to write on it. And I don't know. And things come out that it's beyond me. And when I write my Monday morning greetings, I don't know how they're going to come out. I just do them. And then ideas come and sentences and conceptions and ideas. Same thing with speaking. I was speaking with Srila Dhanurdhara Swami, who's been teaching Brihat Bhagavatamrita. The things that come out when the things you can do when you dedicate yourself to God. That's why, if you look at the architecture of the world, the things that are dedicated to God or something higher than oneself, Notre Dame Cathedral, and so these wives, their cooking was like that. The cooking was like that. Empowered by Srimati Radharani, she comes to Nandagram every day, and Rohini is there, and there's 100 chulas, 100 clay stoves, and everyone cuts up the preparations. Radharani walks by, it's already ready, and throws things in and stirs something and puts some spice in the hand and throws it in. And she's Shakti. She's Purna Shakti. She's Mahabhav. She's Ladini Shakti, the essence of which is Krishna Prem. When it's intensified to the highest degree, it's Mahabhav. She's Mahabhav Sarup, with that devotion. I felt that with Kripa Moya wedding thing. It was his love of his daughter. It was his love of Krishna. It was superb. I don't think anybody ever did a yajna so perfectly. Every element of it, every joke, every movement, the way it was set up, it was beautiful. Niravari Sabara Nayana Premadar Krishna Name Paripurna Vadana Sabar. Their eyes were always filled with tears of love, and their mouths were always filled with the holy name of Krishna. The two best offerings, sound and tears in devotion. The tears manifest from the intense heart of love, and the holy name of Krishna manifests from so how pleasing it is. And in that consciousness, just like the mothers of Vrindavan, in the morning they get up and they're cooking for their sons and to go out with Krishna in the forest. But there's this boy in that village that is Krishna, who they're more attracted to even than their sons, because he's all attractive. And they have so much love for that boy, Krishna. It's not on the material platform. They're devotees, and their sons, they love their sons as devotees of Krishna. But Krishna is the main object of love. And therefore, when they're cooking, they're always singing. Yasomati Nandana Braja Bara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Gopi Paranadana Madana Manahara Kaliya Damodar Vidana Amalahari Mamiya Vilasa Amalahari. And they're singing and they're cooking. Purve Ishvarere Pritiye Shaba Vyasjane Navadvipe Śrī Vaishnavi Shaba Tohijane. Those Vaishnavas knew what vegetable preparations the Lord liked when he was previously in the Navadvip. So if you're Bengali, the real joy in Bengal is the vegetables, not in UP. You go to, I went, my friend Alok from Rasa Bihari Lal, who printed my books, and I went to his house for lunch. He'd lost his wife during COVID. He was devastated. And anyway, the daughter-in-laws were trained to cook. The daughters-in-laws were trained to cook, and but hardly any vegetables. It's not their thing. maybe aloo gobi, maybe. But in Bengal, in the north, it's the rotis, it's the sweets, not vegetables, but they knew Bengal on the bank of the Ganga. So powerful, it's flowing. It's described that whatever on the Ganga, it gives mukti and bhukti. It gives liberation and it gives material pleasure. So rich. Prema yogi say mata karena randana. Prabhu o parama prema karina bhoja. Therefore, they cooked those preparations with love, and the Lord also ate their offerings with great love. Bunte bhojyate chaiva. It was so nice here. Mara, she's a professional. And I remember I wrote my Monday morning greetings, and she had a catering business, successful catering business, and she became vegetarian. So she stopped cooking meat. Most of the clients are okay, but she lost some big clients. But again, the risk taken with the faith in Krishna. And faith is sometimes described that when you surrender and serve Krishna, then everything is taken care of. I had to have that realization myself, because as you know, when I joined, there was great opposition from my loving parents. And I did not want to hurt them, but I had that faith that if I serve Krishna, if you water the root and of the tree, the leaves and branches will be replenished. The leaves and branches will be replenished. Ekadina, one day, Śrī Advaita Sangha Mahamati. This word Mahamati, Mati again means mind, Mahamati. The devotee is described as very great mind. And what is the great mind? The magnanimous, great mind. It's serving God. Not centering oneself, but centering God and the Vaiṣṇavas in one's life. Ekadina Śrī Advaita Sangha Mahamati. One day, Advaita Simha, the lion-like, Prabhure Baliya requested the Lord, Aji, today, Bhiksha Kori Iti, please take your lunch at my house today. Mushti Eka Tandula Prabhu Randibe Apa Hasti Mora Danya Hoy Tomara Bhakshane. I cook only a handful of rice. Please accept it so that my hands will become glorious. Prabhu Bale, Ye Jana Tomara Anakoi. Krishna Bhakti Krishna Seipaya Sarvatai. The Lord replied, whoever eats your rice certainly attains Krishna and his devotional service. Acharya, Tomara Ana Amara Jivana, Tume Koyalya Hoy Krishnara. O Acharya, your rice is my life. Krishna certainly eats whatever you cook. When you prepare an offering for Krishna, I am ready to even beg for the remnants. Who can understand the ecstasy of Advaita felt when he heard such affectionate words from the Lord? That's the desire of the Vaishnava in Vaishnava relationships with Guru, with Krishna, with the Vaiṣṇavas. and those symptoms of prema. I want to be with that person. I want to serve that person. I want to serve God. And I want an acknowledgement of our relationship. And that acknowledgement comes with these sincere, loving words to Advaita. And Sunisha Prabhu, who can understand his ecstasy when he has this unlimited prema, love for God, and Chaitanya reaffirms his relationship in ecstasy. And this is the world that we want to live in. Parama santoshe tabe vasaya oila, prabha bhikshara shaje karitela. In great satisfaction, Advaita then returned home and made arrangements for the Lord's meal. Lakshi amse janma Advaitera prativrata lagia karite kare hoy harasita. Advaita's chaste wife, who was an expansion of Lakshmi, began to joyfully prepare for cooking. She gave Advaita those items that were dear to the Lord that she brought from Bengal. It's just like when the Vaiṣṇavas and Vaiṣṇavis from Iran bring the special items, including a special type of rice that you will not find anyplace else. The rice is so fragrant that it's like incense when you put a bowl of it in your room. And other special items. So she brought them from Bengal. Sri Advaita Mahasaya then meditated, and Lord Chaitanya sat down and began cooking. His chaste wife made preparations for cooking different vegetables according to the inspiration that manifested in her heart. She knew the Lord was very fond of shak, so she gave Advaita 10 varieties of shak she had brought. When I went to Mayapur, and Savita Bhattacharya is there living, when I go there at least 2 or 3 times, and the preparations that are cooked, what is her inspiration for that day? And especially the shak, the spinach, the shukta, the bitter sabji. Achaya randena pativrata karya kare tui jane base yena ananda. Advaitacharya cooked and his chaste wife assisted. In this way, they both floated in the ocean of happiness, love, service, the ocean of happiness. The Krishna-das referred to herein is Krishna Mishra, the son of Advaita Prabhu. I don't know how, but I wanted the Lord to relish everything that we have cooked. Wait, let me get back. Advaita said, "O mother of Krishna-das." So Krishna-das is Advaita's son, so he's referring to his wife. Let me tell you what I'm thinking. I don't know, but I want the Lord to relish everything that we have cooked. If he comes along with other sannyasis, I am certain he will not eat very much. By Krishna's grace, I can still please the Vaiṣṇavas by my appetite. Generally, all the sannyasis accompany the Lord every day to take their meals. They all have great respect for the Lord, so out of affection, they take their meals with him. Advaita thought, how nice are all these preparations if only the Lord would come alone. Then I could make him eat all these preparations, but how can I fulfill this desire of mine? Advaita continued to think in this way as he cooked. Meanwhile, the Lord completed chanting of his fixed number of holy names and prepared to perform his noon duties. The sannyasis who generally took their meal with the Lord also went to perform their noon duties. At that time, however, Indra, the king of the demigods, suddenly sent an intense shower of rain and strong winds for the satisfaction of Advaita. Hailstones began to fall everywhere. The wind blew fiercely, and it rained without limit. All the directions became so darkened with dust in the air that the sannyasis could not find their way to the residence. The wind was so forceful that no one could stand still, and no one could understand what direction they were going. The area where Advaita was cooking, however, had only a little rain and wind. The sannyasis who generally took their meals with the Lord got lost, and no one knew where they went. Meanwhile, the lion, like Advaita, finished cooking and cleaned the spot where he placed the rice and vegetable preparations, that banana leaf and that hot rice and the different preparations. He also set out ghee, yogurt, milk, cream, butter, pishtaka, a sweet preparation made of rice, varieties of sweets, sandesh and bananas, grita, dhadi, dhugda, sari, navina, pishtaka, nana vidha, sakara, sandesh, kadalaka. After putting a tulsi manjar in each preparation, the Lord sat down and meditated on bringing Gohari there. Way to meditate in such a way that the Lord would come alone. In fact, by the desire of Advaita, Sri Gaur Chandra did come to his house alone. Okay, so Jamuna Jaya, today you're here, you can start.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for class. There's several things I just really loved a lot. One is the aspect of what God likes is good for him and everyone else. And you made the point of like what we like often isn't good for ourselves or anybody else.
Yeah, good.
How wonderful is Krishna, to quote Adi, that God likes, what God likes is good for all. And we tend to be exactly the opposite. So thank you.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Jamuna, very good. Okay, Gail, did you have any appreciation?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hi, Bo.
I think there isn't one particular thing that really stands out, but thank you for class.
Okay, hi, Bo. All right, it's hard with Gail, you know, she's heard 35,000 classes, so to come out with something new, but sometimes that happens. Okay, anyone else like to say hello?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Tota Gopinath here.
Haribo, Tota.
Hare Krishna.
Did you eventually make it to the program on Sunday?
Yeah, we got there. We ran a little late, but we got the, we didn't miss much. Great kirtan there. Prasadam was nice, and it was just good to see everybody.
Okay, and how difficult was to find a parking spot?
Not so bad. 6th Street and Avenue B. Not too far.
How long did it take you?
To get in, there was some traffic.
The park.
Maybe 15 minutes.
Okay, and what was the feast?
There was, rice, a really good dal, 2 desserts, which was rice pudding and halava, and there was a pakora with chutney.
Okay, nice. And Kula Pradeep and Janavi came?
Oh yeah, no, they were there. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
they spent the whole time in the kirtan, and even after the the original kirtan was over, and then prasadam time happened. So many people didn't even go up for prasadam; they just stayed in the temple room and did like, just more kirtan. Even as we were leaving, there was still a sit down kirtan, real,
Yeah.
it just never stopped.
Yeah, I went to the park,
Mhm.
which was great. And then by the time, I don't think I got out of there by 6:30, but okay.
Great ball.
Okay, anybody else say hello?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thanks for the class.
Oh, okay, Haribo.
I'm
Yeah, but-
Surya Radha.
Surya Radhika, wow, nice to see you at Govardhan Hill. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank
Gopi Gita, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for class.
Okay, you've been in touch with Siddheshri, huh?
Yes, we have been talking. Wonderful.
She's quite a nice devotee, huh?
Yes, Maharaj. She's amazing.
Yeah, she's done a lot of service. So I'm glad now she'll come in August because then she can come to the retreat, right?
Yeah. It's good, very good. Yes.
Okay, good. We're going to have a retreat for sure.
Oh, I will be there. If I can, I will be there.
There's no reason not to, but yeah, it's great. It worked out so nice. So we'll have a retreat between, yeah, okay, Haribo.
Haribol.
It'll be that like the 16th or 17th of August, and we'll do Janmashtami and Prabhupada's appearance day there. Okay. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Well, Govinda. Thank you for class.
Haribo, you enjoyed?
Haribo.
You stayed also for the feast and the kirtans?
Yeah, it was great. It was really great.
Amazing.
Oh yeah, amazing.
Who was
Everybody
leading?
there.
Who was leading the kirtan in the temple?
Everybody kind of, you had Bali and Dish doing their Murdanga dancing, and Johnny, everyone was kind of passing the mic, but it was really beautiful. It was really ecstatic. It was great.
Okay, great. Anyway, somehow or other, after our bhajan COVID, then a little sankirtan. Okay, anybody
Yeah.
else?
Very well.
Haribol Maharaj,
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Wait, where are you guys? Where is that now?
our kitchen.
Okay, I was trying to figure it out. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. It was so nice on Sunday, especially getting everyone's association.
it was great. Yeah, it was nice. I was happy to come for when I could, but then Raghunath had to get his kids to school the next day, so he couldn't leave that late. But it was it really packed, the temple room?
Yeah.
It was so nice.
So it was really hot too. And Toto wasn't exaggerating. I mean, I stayed until 10, and the kirtan was at Shoot Gopi was still going.
Okay, that's good. Okay, all right. Okay, you'll see you on the 15th?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay, we'll do something
Looking
then.
forward to it.
of course.
What?
We're looking forward to it.
Wherever you are, if you're close, we're gonna be there.
Okay, maybe I think, maybe you, because you were helping Jamuna Bihari, maybe they're having a small, you're gonna come up that Sunday to Bhakti Banda if they have their,
Yes.
Yes,
okay,
Yes.
yes.
okay, well, okay, all right. Anybody else? Say hello. Okay. All right, Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayeva Cha